How's it going, everyone? This is the George here, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Karate Kid Part 3. That's right, the third Karate Kid movie in the franchise, and currently the last one with Ralph Macchio until the upcoming Karate Kid movie that's coming out in a couple weeks. This was the last time he played Daniel LaRusso before Cobra Kai. But yeah, once again, the stars Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita, and Martin Cove. And in this movie, he John Kreese comes back and he wants revenge on Daniel and Mr. Miyagi because ever since the All Valley tournament where Daniel won, Cobra Kai has been struggling. His students have left financially. He's not in a good place. So he gets his old war buddy, Terry Silver, played by Thomas Ian Griffith, to help him not only bring Cobra Kai back on top, but to get revenge on Daniel and Mr. Miyagi. If this did not sound like a Saturday morning cartoon movie plot, I don't know what else would be. So he gets Mike Barnes, played by Sean Cannon, in this aggressive national champion to get Daniel into the All Valley tournament after Daniel and Mr. Miyagi decide for Daniel not to enter. Daniel also meets a new friend named Jessica, played by Robin Lively in this movie. And Mr. Miyagi's unemployed and Daniel's homeless because the apartment complex has been torn down. So Daniel uses his college money to open a bonsai tree store. And wow, it feels like for a movie that is the shortest in this trilogy, lengthwise, a lot is happening in this movie. And the story about this movie when making it is that they had various ideas for this movie. At one point, they wanted to do like a time travel through dreams plot with Daniel and Mr. Miyagi. Apparently, they wanted to get William Zabka back as Johnny Lawrence, but he couldn't be in it for various reasons. John Kreese was supposed to have a bigger role, but Martin Cove couldn't come back due to scheduling conflicts or appear as much. He did appear in the movie. That my bad. And that's why Terry Silver was created. This feels like a lot with this movie. And Ralph Macchio himself has said that he did not have a good time filming this movie and he didn't like what happened with Daniel because Daniel feels very out of character in this movie. And I get what they're trying to go for. They want to drive this wedge between Mr. Miyagi and Daniel. But I don't know if that's such a good idea after the last movie where Daniel's at his most mature. Like Karate Kid Part 2, Daniel, for most of the movie, as I mentioned in that review, for the most part, is making way better decisions and is taking the higher road at times. And here it's like he forgot everything he learned. It reminds me of the change of Rocky Balboa's character from Rocky 4 to Rocky 5. And Rocky 5 is also a movie John Avildsen directed as well, where Rocky felt like he was at his most dominant fighting against Drago, and then all of a sudden he's feels like he's at his weakest in Rocky 5. But in fairness to Rocky 5, and I'm not a big fan of Rocky 5 as well, but the downfall of Rocky's character in that movie between all the fights that he has had that could have gotten him killed, that could have severely injured his head, that could have caused brain damage, as well as the questionable financial choices he made throughout the movies, and then in Rocky 5 ultimately losing all his money. That made more sense for Rocky 5 than some of the stuff that happens in Karate Kid Part 3. Like the apartment complex getting torn down just so Mr. Miyagi and Daniel, are in this bad position where Daniel has to live with Mr. Miyagi because his mom's taking care of his sick uncle and Mr. Miyagi's unemployed. So Daniel decides to open this bonsai shop to support him and they become partners. It just feels like a lot of convenience in there. Yeah, it just does. And Mikey Barnes, of Daniel's rivals, the main rivals, he is by far the worst. He does not have the development or character arc that Johnny Lawrence and Chosen both had. I've always enjoyed Johnny Lawrence and Chosen as Daniel's rivals. Here, Barnes is just this angry, rage filled bully that's just always yelling, getting red, getting in Daniel's face. And for what? Like, getting paid by Terry Silver to do all this. It's not like he has a personal vendetta against Daniel. Like, Johnny Lawrence Johnny was jealous of Daniel when he saw Daniel with Ali at the beginning of Karate Kid. And when Daniel fought back a couple times, that would just get Johnny more annoyed. There was a true rivalry between these guys, whether you think the rivalry was dumb or not because of dumb high school antics or dumb high school jealousy. Chosen. A lot of Chosen at first mostly had anger towards Mr. Miyagi because of his uncle Sato. But then when Daniel exposed Chosen for being a cheat and dishonored him a couple of times, according to Chosen, that's when Chosen, since start, was really hating Daniel and wanted to fight him to death. And then you had other moments with the rivalry. There was a genuine rivalry and hatred between these two characters. It's like, if anything, Mikey Barnes is just destroying the bonsai tree, making Daniel's life a living hell just to get Daniel in this tournament. According to IMDb, I was reading it because I was like, what weird ideas did they have for this movie before they settled on this movie? They actually had a neat idea with Mikey Barnes where they wanted to make Mikey Barnes start out as a rival. Well, not rival, sorry, as a fan of Daniel's and want to fight Daniel because he wanted to defeat the reigning All Valley champion. And apparently, he would have brothers that were also All Valley champions, and he would have like a chosen mindset of honor and all that. And the more Daniel would refuse, the more upset he would get. Kind of sounds a little bit similar to also Tommy Gunn as well from Rocky Five. Perhaps maybe this was the idea that later gave birth to having Tommy Gunn in Rocky Five. Because if you've ever seen Rocky Five, Tommy Gunn starts off as a fan of Rocky's that wants to learn from Rocky, but as he gets manipulated by certain people, it just like, and he hears him getting compared to Rocky more, Tommy takes a sudden turn for the worse. So maybe this was the original idea. Mikey Barnes created Tommy Gunn. I don't know. I don't know how Tommy Gunn was originally created in Rocky Five. I would have to look that up. But yeah, that would have made more sense than just this random national champion that Terry Silver hires. And I'll say this about Terry Silver. He is comedic as a villain. He is very over the top Saturday morning cartoon villainish. And I will say, like the Cobra Kai, the later seasons of Cobra Kai, how they expanded on stuff and addressed certain stuff. It's made certain things in this movie age a little bit better. This movie's not complete garbage. And I do love Mr. Miyagi in this movie, even though Daniel at times is a jerk. I feel like the few redeeming scenes with Daniel in this movie, when he's not being a jerk to Mr. Miyagi, when he's not being a coward at times, the moments of with him and Mr. Miyagi at the beginning and end of the movie are the strong points of this movie. And Pat Morita is still great as Mr. Miyagi. To me, the saddest moment in this series and in this movie were the times he was very hurt and heartbroken over seeing the struggles Daniel's going through, noticing that Daniel's lying to him, Daniel's yelling at him, and when he's looking at a picture of him and Daniel and says, Miyagi's heart empty without you, that actually really hurts because it's right then and there that if you haven't already seen it yet, Mr. Miyagi does see Daniel as his son. He loves Daniel like a son, and he's seeing his son getting distant from him. So I did enjoy part of that aspect with Mr. Miyagi's character arc in there. But even the karate fights in this movie, they're just uninteresting. Like the first two movies, I thought they were very entertaining. And Daniel, the All Valley finals between him and Mike Barnes, and I get it. The training Terry Silver put him through, the mental, physical training did wear him out. But Daniel, the same Daniel that in the last movie saved a girl from a storm, risking his life during a dangerous storm to get this girl out of harm's way, went to fight Chosen to the death to save Kimiko, was getting bloodied up by Chosen, but still managed to defeat Chosen. The same Daniel LaRusso from the previous movie, the previous two movies, says he's scared. He is scared of this angry guy, Mike Barnes, who doesn't even have that same attempt that Chosen has. Now, granted, Chosen, as crazy as he was for wanting to kill Daniel, he wasn't as crazy as Mikey Barnes comes across at times, but still, it just it's just a really bad regression of a character that you would think by now wouldn't be like this. And you would think, despite all the stuff that he's went through with the training with Terry Silver and the pain that he went through. I mean, this is someone whose leg was severely injured in the previous All Valley tournament and still managed to fight Johnny Lawrence in the final round, get the first 2 points in that round, and despite all the things that Johnny was kicking and throwing him with, he still managed to beat Johnny. It just doesn't make sense. It just feels so out of place that Daniel would be reduced to this. And you can understand why Ralph Macchio was not happy with how this was handled. It's a miracle, actually, that years later he would agree to come back for Cobra Kai and do another Karate Kid movie. But yeah, with Karate Kid Part 3, I mean, outside of, Terry Silver being entertaining, Mr. Miyagi being awesome as always, the character Jessica, I did like. I thought she was a pretty cool character. The few good moments of Daniel with Mr. Miyagi. Besides that, this movie just I really don't care much for this movie. And even though Cobra Kai, as I said, may make certain things better, expand on Terry Silver, the idea of expanding Cobra Kai, redeeming Mike in that show, I just don't really care for Karate Kid Part 3. Do I think it's one of the worst movies of all time? No. Do I think it's a garbage, terrible movie? No. But it is by far, of the first three Karate Kid movies, the weakest. I'm gonna give the Karate Kid Part 3 a C minus. If you like the Karate Kid movies, I do recommend you check it out. It is important to watch, especially if you're into Cobra Kai as well. So it's something you can't avoid if you're that deep into the Karate Kid mythos. But yeah, Karate Kid Part 3. Have you seen it? What you think about it? And what Karate Kid movie do you think is the weakest? Let me know in the comments down below. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe already if you haven't. Please share this with someone who loves the Karate Kid movies. And I hope to see you guys real soon. Take care, everyone.